also emphasize the ways the schools think about mental health problems and provide services for students with disabilities, which is different than in medical or mental health settings. This is beginner level, offered by the University of Colorado, and it takes approximately 11 hours to complete. If you just want the reviews, I really like this case. I really like the case studies. They are extremely helpful in applying the techniques being taught. This course is absolutely free. It's providing social, emotional, behavioral, and special education services in Barbados. Approximately 11 hours to complete. And this course is absolutely free. And we can have a talk, a chat today with someone who tells about education and children with special needs and how can better deal with children with special needs and what can we do to help us cope better with children with special needs and what the system on the whole can do much more of. If they're doing a good job now, kudos to that. But what can we do more to make sure we provide our quality education and quality like that person with special needs as well, so we can talk about that. Miss Gillian Cadogan is a qualified teacher with 28 years of experience, 27 of those in special education. She holds an honors degree in psychology, a diploma in education, a master's degree in education, and a diploma in educational leadership with distinction. Miss Cadogan is also one of the recipients of the Royal Fidelity National Distinguished Teachers Awards for 2021. She is acting principal. Oh, hey, teacher. At the All Saints Primary School, everywhere, All Saints listening. Big ups to you and all past students, salutes to you. She's acting principal at the All Saints Primary School and the present vice president of the Autism Association of Barbados. We can talk about that too. She's a mother to Kofi, her 22-year-old son on the spectrum, and daughter Christine. Christine or Christiane?
Christiane.
You know what, you know, you gotta get the name right, Christiane, because she can be listening for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Big ups to Christiane, 16. She lives by the court. Each one doing a small part can make a big difference. She lives by the court. Each one doing a small part can make a big difference. Outside of her career in education, Ms. Cadogan still maintains her interest in singing, musical performance, and the creative arts, and that's true. I've known her for many years on the scene. I purchased you back all the big ones. They could call any name and they show you back. If I ask if you've back RPB.
That's true.
Of Gabby.
That's true.
John King.
Right true.
Lil Ray.
Right true.
Mikey.
That's right.
Marsville.
No,
Mad.
not Marsville.
Mad.
No, not mine.
This thing, if you Blood.
But I'm sure I judged Marsville and Team Tanner.
I'm positive of that.
When he was younger.
I'm positive of that too. When he was at least 12 or 13.
Everybody
Or
pass through
Mark
your mind.
McCulkin.
Yes.
Yes, that's him.
Everybody pass through your mind.
Correct.
She see talent for everything.
Yeah, from
Process them and evaluate the talent too.
Yeah, the way she still look very, very young. She's been around.
Yeah, she
Extremely young. Yeah, it's been around extremely long.
And under 19 that ball.
Yeah.
Thanks
Yes.
to the government.
Yeah. No, it's the truth. I'm sure you heard that already. Yeah, you heard already. Surprised. No, and was it always in you to balance education, entertainment, and culture?
Yes. I would say that. Music has always been my thing. I used to perform full time. Music was my job. But you know, there was more that I could do. I always wanted to do more. And I love students, I love kids, I love teaching. So I got into teaching. I was doing both at the same time, but as teaching and family life took over, music more or less took a back seat. But then I said, you know, keep it in the school with my kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So how is that coming along? Then again, you are acting head teacher.
Yes.
So you
yes.
You can't get the help out as much as you would like.
No, I can't. You know, sometimes I
Work
hear
on
the choir
crazy.
performing and I
You
hear
can't
them
repeat.
from my office
You
and I
can't
would like to
repeat.
go and see and can't get down there. Yeah.
How much that is tough for you hard? Don't know how
Hard.
all my life, all I know if I see you on scene, just smiling, skinny, more
I miss it
enjoying.
bad.
Like hear the children right and knowing like that's me. How much is tough for you hard, sorry?
Hard. It's tough hard. The heart is popping out your chest.
Yeah, it could understand, but when you're doing work, start playing and saying that you love down there. But then, like you said, you know you could do more to be a bigger purpose. I saw in your bio that you said your son is on the spectrum.
Yes, Kofi's autistic.
Yeah, was that the reason that made you dive into special needs and
Actually,
education?
no,
Or were you doing it before?
I was assigned to a school called St. John's Senior School,
Mm-hmm.
and this school catered to students from 11 to 16. Most of them had some sort of learning issue, behavioral challenge, and I was there for 4 years before Kofi came along, actually. So those students are still close to my heart, many of them, and I still connect.
Yeah, man. So this happened. This journey started even before
Yes.
COVID. Did it help me come along?
Yes, it did. It is always difficult and challenging and emotional and rough to know.
No matter how much you know, no matter
Yes,
you
no
got
matter how
4
much you
years.
know, you're
You
still
got
a
4
mother.
years. And you tell yourself, oh, yeah, you can't really break.
Yeah.
It still knock you down.
Yeah, it still knocked me down, but the thing is to get back up.
Yeah.
And then I noticed so many other parents needed help as well. And they were just on Miss Cadogan, how did you cope with this? How did you cope with that? And it helped me to be a tougher parent and a more resilient parent
Mm.
of a child with a disability to help other parents.
Mhm.
So, they give me support, I give them support.
No, mom, like if me and my fiance I want a racist cookies, right? From the time we start focusing upon it, we can see big racist cookies every day.
Every day.
You know that can happen. So no, you obviously was in the job before you came along. Since you came along, I'm sure you had to come across so many parents with children that either they know that the child on the spectrum or some of them don't even realize or in denial.
So many.
I'm sure it had you focal point had to be going crazy when this happened.
It is true.
How did you cope with that, and what did you do that helped you cope with it?
Prayer. Believe in God strong.
I don't you.
Prayer. Not only that, family.
They're not stronger.
Yeah, family and that family support, extended family, grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins, everybody rallying around because, it takes a village to raise a child. It's sure. Community, everything.
Yeah, community, he's preached community here in NTI and Heartland 5.3. Now, how important, right, is it for the extended family? Because you want parents that are listening, right, to really grasp this, because even myself might have been at fault, sometimes they dismiss things and they don't know what to do with them.
Yes.
That's being honest and real. How can us in the extended family, whether we're uncles, aunts, grandparents, how can we help, and what can you tell us that will help us understand more that our help is imperative towards this child's development?
Well, research is always there. Learn as much as you can about whatever the diagnosis is. If the child is autistic, if the child has Down syndrome, information is always out there. Accompany that parent to the clinic, to the doctor, to the different therapy sessions, if there are any, get the information. Most of all, learn the characteristics and the behaviors that might, they may surprise you, but they're not that surprising if you know about them. Get to know the child, get to play with the child, spend time with the child, give the mother or the dad a break, and sometimes, I will babysit. So tell me what he or she likes, what I should do, just be there.
Yeah.
Just be there for them.
Well, yeah, many people spoke about the characteristics and behaviors and learning certain things. Can you explain to us why is it important to learn those behaviors? Does it help us deal with the child? Does it help us raising it? Why is it important for us to learn those things?
Well, these behaviors, it is important to understand them and to recognize them because you don't want this child to be misunderstood. Sometimes you may get your autistic child going into Bridgetown and you take them in a Cape Shepherd and the child just started to throw a tantrum, roll up all over the floor and get home. But what you don't know is that sometimes fluorescent lights or different types of sounds or crowds, because they have sensory issues and they don't take in information the way they don't process it the way we process it. So, you might be able to handle a crowd of persons around you or pressing close to you.
Yeah.
Because you can't go in town without getting bounced a little bit, can't go through Swan Street without jostling the crowd. Those things are very difficult for persons with autism and they will react especially if they're what we call nonverbal. So the tantrum will happen. My son now, he is verbal, not as verbal as I would like, but he can still express himself. He would say, "Mom, this is too much. I want to go home." So I understand.
Straight
Yeah. Or I don't like it over here. Or too much noise, something like that.
Straight like that.
Straight like that. So you have to understand the behaviors in order to best help the child. And it's important. It's important that you know where these emotions and these behaviors are coming from.
Yeah.
Then you better know how to handle the situation.
Yeah. Well, I love that answer. No, in furthering your studies, can you tell us what was most surprising in when you were furthering your studies and you're studying psychology?
Yes.
Obviously, and diving into that, how did that help you to better handle children with special needs and teaching? And in furthering your studies, what was some of the most surprising things you came across?
Well, I'm gonna tell you,
Yes,
my
please.
own motto from St. Leonard's Girls is knowledge is power.
Yeah.
So as long as you know, then you're better prepared. And studying at UWI at Erdiston really helped me to gain the knowledge and deepen the understanding of all different disabilities and the right teaching environments, the right tools, the right mannerisms that I should display as a teacher in order to help both parent and child. I was kind of iffy with my son, and it was during a course
You was?
at UWI. Yeah, I wasn't, in denial. I'm saying, well, things will get better. I think that he will talk a little bit later. He's just a little late, that kind of thing. And I was in a course with a lovely lady, and she was my lecturer, and she also happened to have a son with autism, and I happened to do a course on special needs, and I was reading the characteristics of a toddler with autism, and as I was reading, I was saying to myself, this is my son right here. So the course itself brought to light basically, what his diagnosis most likely was. And it was shocking and it was hard, but you deal with it. It's through study that I discovered his diagnosis.
It's true study.
True study.
No, when I asked you that question, and I had no idea knowing that.
I know. So I had the answer for you.
Yeah, I didn't looking for that answer for real. You know what I mean? I didn't think that true studying is the way you found out. I thought if it was figuring you always knew that had to be quite a lengthy time.
Yeah, it was then I decided to take him to the professionals because teachers cannot diagnose. To the professionals to,
Teachers cannot diagnose?
No, teachers are not diagnosticians. We pick up on things and we can advise parents to go to the psychologist, go to the pediatrician and get this child assessed because we think he's not meeting his milestones. We can give advice.
The middle person.
We can't, we're the middle person.
The middle.
We can't say exactly, we would know.
They will pick up a sign or two, saying wrong here.
But we are not really allowed to say, well, your child is autistic. Only the psychologist can do that.
That is interesting though. You met me 7 months someplace else. Should we be doing, or are we doing things to make teachers more aware of these things so that them can then advise?
Actually, yes, there is. We can always do more, but we're developing.
You can always do more.
You can always do more.
You want to get better, but
you want to get better.
But we'll be doing things now that helping all teachers understand the
Yes,
science.
we have a course at Erdiston, the diploma in special education. So persons who are really interested can sign up.
It's not a must.
No, it's not a must. It is up to you. There are other diplomas you can do. But if you're interested in special education and you want to work with special needs kids, you can do that. But no, in the general Erdiston courses, there's always a module on special education for general teachers to give them that awareness.
Yeah.
But still, we would like that module to be bigger because we are seeing so many more kids with issues.
Yeah, that was in my head. I was thinking Do you think the issues are so much? Not the issues. Sorry, the cases. Sorry, the cases for the numbers are enough that we should make sure that every teacher have a
Yes.
basic understanding, just in case,
Yes.
because me now, like, I qualify to teach. You get me? So like event BCC qualify the music. So the ministry might take on me as a teacher. You know what I mean? Because you know you got social degree and diplomas and all that.
Right.
But I might not know what to look for. I might just be a good teacher.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So are the cases, in your opinion, because every case don't get report, like, obviously, because like you say you found out through studying. Everyone may not be that fortunate. You know what I mean?
It's true.
And you would always consider an educated person. Obviously, otherwise you couldn't be studying further education. You know what I mean? So if you yourself found out through studying, I can imagine that much more people
Yes.
never really found out until, like you said, some people might be in denial. Like you said, like you admitted, now you can come around.
And that's one of the things that teachers to encourage parent education. We also do, as teachers, do parent education sessions, helping parents to look for signs, especially those 5-year-olds coming in, the students that would be in the early childhood departments, the nurseries, teaching parents how to look for milestones.
Nursery, so you can look for these things from that
yes. Oh yes, from nursery
nursery level, like 2, 3, 4?
We call nursery 0 to 3. So, right through, you should be able to tell if your child is seeing well, if this child is hearing well. Those are the basic things you look for. If they're reaching the physical milestones, if they're walking or crawling or doing the things at the time they're supposed to do them. I guess at clinics, doctors would give parents what you call a milestone chart. So as your child reaches a particular age, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, they're supposed to be doing things all along the way. So when you see things are not happening, then you have to get them checked out and look at them seriously.
Gillian, you got my mind going so crazy right now. Because sometimes you meet children, you may say, "Man, you just quiet."
Yeah.
Like these
But you should be talking more.
Like you understand when you ask this? Like we pass off these things so carelessly. Man, you just quiet to yourself, you can be good, man, you know what I mean?
Yes. That's a Belgian culture thing, We tend not to worry too much because
you're right.
They still got more growing to do.
Yeah, you're right.
So and in some cases
we
it's
still
got more growing to do.
We say so too. You still got a lot more growing to do, man.
In some cases the children do do develop
you got
well.
late bloomers.
Yeah, you got late bloomers, but in other cases,
signs.
yes, you gotta know the signs.
Yes.
You gotta know the
so this sounds like something that could be general education too.
Yes.
Because if mommy ignore, or sorry, not ignore, cause mommy not be ignoring. Sorry, mothers. If mommy ain't know what
to look for. It's not recognizing.
She busy. She working whole day in my field. You know what I mean? She go on now. She go on now. She and Trady kids and she boyfriend or your husband. She gotta cook the food there quick.
Right.
Then she still gotta do what she life. She might got her clothes to wash. She might got press for the next morning.
It is true.
So she
family life can be very challenging, very hard, and your tiredness, and single mothers, single fathers, things miss you. So that's why you have to have a good relationship with your teacher. Because what you miss, your teacher will pick up and give you a call and say, come and let's have a talk. Because I noticed something about Charlie, and
that's
the teacher-parent relationship is important.
Listen, you mentioned 2 things that I heard. Me mention about parent education. I heard that recently. Minister Lane was speaking to my fair here at children, like not this week, probably last week. Like he talking about things that the National Peace Program is doing in the communities, right? And he was talking about educating the parents,
Yes.
and you talk about doing things with the parents, and which is extremely important. And then you come here now and mention it again.
And the thing is, it doesn't have to be a certification. You don't have to.
Nah, he didn't really
it ain't like you going on NTI.
That's me knowledge.
But just giving you information that you can use to recognize certain things, and once you have that extra knowledge, you're not in the dark. Taking out the dark.
And baby, you're the second person to hear mention it, which means it have to be extremely important, which means that we doing it as much as we need to. And here you speaking, it sounds like if we need general education. I mean, the public in general needs education
Oh,
on this
yes.
because for me, it's not really a bad thing if mommy or daddy miss it. You know what I mean? That's a horrible man. Like being perfect, we all go through things
It's
like
true.
turn, but you know, like if uncle and aunt know a little bit, like you said, it could be that's general knowledge.
Just general
You know
knowledge.
about young girl got psychology degree. You know, like
No
just
way.
you know that listen, these are 10 signs here. These are what to look for. Or
That's right.
this is a growth chart. I used to grow up being me, height, nor
Correct.
size. You mean development.
Yes, your
At least
intellectual development.
you get what you
know,
mean.
Your physical development as well, because they're
Okay, cool.
they're kids who would have physical disabilities, and not being able to walk as well. Not, sometimes you're playing catch with a child and you're saying, well, at this age, this child should be able to catch a ball,
Yeah.
But then, after a while, you recognize, you know what, this child might not even be seeing properly. So you would, and phys ed teachers pick up a lot of these things. So then you tell the parent, you know what, you got free eye testing at the clinic.
Yeah.
You're gonna get the child's eye tested and
And never forget, my niece my niece that A-Rez. So if when some of these rest don't get jealous, but my niece that A-Rez one of them, got many. But when she was young, my sister and I, we really, she don't like watching TV, we find out weird. We don't really like the tablet and all that, so. No, she's only about 22 now, so she born in that world, she born
Yeah.
thinking that word.
correct.
Don't like watching TV, you know what I'm saying?
That's strange.
You,
Man, use a tablet for 3 years old and 2.
Yeah.
Speak up on YouTube and can video better than you.
But my sister know like so paranoid, which is a good thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every little sign she's gonna get
Check it, yeah.
My sister said, nah, there ain't no way my child don't like TV. I say, man, nah, she don't like reading either, nah. If a child like TV, you like reading or playing. You know what I mean? If you just prefer to be cool but yourself. Ain't want to bother, nah, boy, we chat for you don't see good.
Correct.
Couldn't see
Correct.
good, and we realized that she done spent a good couple months not seeing good.
Right
And the
now.
glasses was so thick.
Wow.
That you mean that whole bar she always would. And my sister realized that because the child really like looking at TV. You know, the TV pretty.
Yeah.
Even if you don't
Yeah,
like the
You
cartoon.
adjust the
Yes.
zoom in for the colors, the movement.
Correct.
And they only, listen, Gillian, they being real, they only pick up that but other children because my niece know
Yes.
that it never come to my mind where TV so pretty. A 3-year-old even if they may like the cartoon, they gonna look at it. It's too pretty, too much things good. You hearing noise, you see this thing flashing, you can look.
It's attractive to you. Should be
And the
attractive.
child didn't want to look, nah, right? It should be attractive. That's when they found out all these things.
So right now we need to be doing more screening then.
Right.
That's one of the things that the Autism Association is concerned with. Right now, the government of Barbados, Ministry of Education, in collaboration with Rotary, they do screening for hearing.
That's good,
In the early childhood department, kids, infants B, and if they discover the child has a hearing problem, then there's follow up and that child can get help to correct that. And this is all to make sure that education is equitable, because these children with issues, then they miss out on quality education simply because they're not hearing well, not seeing
For
well.
calling that for something that's solvable too.
For something that is
Yeah.
solvable.
Yeah.
It doesn't interfere with the intellect. It
At
is
all.
just the
Yeah.
hearing, the sight, that kind of thing.
No,
Yeah.
you're correct because you don't gotta be able to hear good, to learn. And if you can't hear good, there's so many things
That can be done.
that can help
Yeah.
you hear. You know what I mean? If you can't see the things that can help you see, and if you can't see at all, there's still so many ways that we can educate you. You know what I mean? But is knowing, which brings to my mind that how much we need education. Because remember being in primary school, Gillian, right? And anything saying that happen, anything some soft screening or whatever come up, sometimes it's always that discover that has something going on.
Yes.
Like you,
Yes.
like you ever then again you have to. I'm gonna ask you if you did.
Yeah.
You acting principle, no head teaching. So you have to realize that is that like why do you think that still happen? Because it happened with me, happened with my family, happened with my kids. You would count the doctor all the time. You would get the full checkup. My fear, you would get everything do, and still whenever the school do some special thing, some child is going to get found out can't see good, or can't hear good, or got a disability that the parent themselves, they know what can we do to combat that, and how can we educate the public in general.
like I said, listen to your teachers. Teachers deal with
That
children
relationship
every day, and you use
Yeah.
your senses to learn.
Mhm.
To be able to read well, you gotta be hearing, you gotta be seeing.
That's
So when teachers realize that, okay, brain wise, this child is a sharp child, so why is it that they're missing this or that? And we will bring it to the parents, we will bring it to the parents' attention simply because we spend so much time every day in the classroom. So we will discover certain issues.
Yeah.
Even more so than the doctor.
Yeah.
We will,
No, you're correct, and some things, I think capacity doctor. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, yeah.
teach capacity doctor.
Things capacity doctor.
Yeah.
But the thing is, parents gotta be, if you discover something, you gotta let the doctor know, well, look, I've been saying this in my child, I've been saying that in my child. And then the
Don't
doctor
dismiss
will-
it.
Don't dismiss it.
Even if it happens to be name, even if it come up to be nothing,
nothing.
you saying still report it.
Yeah, because
Yeah, document it, could be
my
a piece of
doctor
the puzzle
actually-
later on.
Document right,
It
document.
could be a piece of the puzzle super later on.
yeah, my
you
doctor
got
was the
information.
person that advised me to take my son
Yeah.
to, it was Children's Development Center at the time, and get him checked, so, yeah.
And I feel you saw it right when you said it could be piece of puzzle later on.
Correct.
That happens so many times with so many people that close to when certain things that you develop later and realize they're just saying that stemming from childhood.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It could be eye problems, hearing problems, diseases, so many different things.
Or sometimes a child, good, go out playing and get fall, and didn't say anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
You understand? And then you realize that after this fall,
That's
this
so
child
right.
isn't learning
That's so
the
right.
way he used to,
Yeah.
so anything can happen.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah, so it may not be there from birth, it just happen
Right.
during
Yeah.
the lifespan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that wasn't reported like you said.
Correct.
That
They might not even think of it as nothing
As-
either. They take a
Correct.
fall, oh, should I fall down? He.
Yeah,
I feel better though. Nah, I feel no pain.
Yeah.
correct.
He got the internal injuries there bubbling.
Yeah. So that means it's something important that we must instill in our children as well. You know, saying happen,
Yes.
let me know,
Yeah,
don't care,
Yes.
don't no matter how insignificant you may feel it if you fall,
Your
don't you
little
may
sweet
take my
water,
name.
scabby blood.
Yeah,
You know?
no, that things. Gillian, they things all the people remember it's so much things we used to do so damaging, whether it's Asian culture, whether it's we just being men, me overlooking things, so many things to watch. Coming up now so much times if men have sons and sons might be a little slower than the rest, like men is feel real shame for them things.
Oh yes,
Listen, I tell you that's being real as a man, like
you're quite right. Both men and women, and these same behaviors you will see children exhibit in public.
like about if
Parents,
just came out
oh
of parent,
yes.
boy,
I have
it's
experienced
such a
it.
humbling thing, Gillian, boy.
I have experienced it. But you know what? I took the choice
Yeah.
that when Kofi started to act up
Mhm.
in public or react with somebody in a way that person perceived was negative, I would say my son is autistic. Have you ever heard of autism? And I would use it as a teaching moment. Everybody's not gonna do that. I'm a teacher, so I would do it.
I like that.
You know?
I like that. No, it helpful and these conversations can only help. You know what I mean? Because
Correct.
we're gonna come across somebody with it. Because I've met persons and that tell me their children are autistic, right? And they talk children that I knew for a couple of years already.
Yeah.
And they didn't know.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Then they say, well, watch this thing or watch that. Or
Right.
when they go by them, like we got friends, don't go in about the place just so.
Mhm.
But Christmas might happen to go all saying he didn't celebrate saying he realized, yeah. Then too, yeah, he always had autism or he always on the spectrum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you didn't know, so could it be that other persons could be like me that you could got certain children that could be functioning in a certain way
Very true.
that you might not realize that they're
Yeah.
indeed autistic,
That's
or
right.
are there different levels? And
Yes.
how can we spot them?
Autism is a spectrum. So you can
Okay.
have those on the higher functioning part of the spectrum that the behaviors are not as noticeable.
Mm.
But then on the what we call the lower end, you can have those kids who don't speak, learning is difficult,
Yeah,
interaction with members of the family and other persons.
so many
You
different.
can see that interaction
Yeah.
is not there at all. So you can look at them and see straight, okay, this is a child with a problem. There's even late diagnosis. There's some persons who are adults who are on the spectrum who did not know until they became adult, and they always wondered, well, why don't I get along with other people? Why is it that my colleagues at my job always think that I'm strange? Why is it that my personal relationships aren't lasting? And they may get the incentive to go to doctor, get a diagnosis, and they're diagnosed on the autism spectrum in adulthood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that happen. I mean, I've met persons at community college who found out that they were dyslexic,
Yes.
and so like that which turned me for a loop because like them to me then the break like me,
Yes.
and they just trying to feel like we learn good, cause that all we shot all we learning good together. You know what I mean? Them tell me that. You don't get boy crazy. You know what I mean? They say, but nah, them know it, them aware it. So if them write saying backwards or do something wrong way, they don't check again. You know what I mean? So them learn
How to cope.
how to cope with it.
Yes.
That I would never know unless them tell me.
Correct.
But if that's right or they don't do something left it, you gonna check them and see them is checking things twice or three times or them is use certain coping mechanisms.
Yes, strategies.
I just call it the term that them using these certain strategies and coping mechanisms that will help them be alert and be aware when they make this particular mistake. Which I mean, like, whoa! I mean, people could be functioning and you don't.
Yes.
And you don't know.
And I admire people who can function within their disability and cope and still achieve.
Generally,
He studying it cool, boy.
Yeah.
Man, he boring.
Yeah, I mean people that with dyslexic that like they said at BCC. I mean the one that one my times my favorite that very much because there was breaking on me too. You know what I mean? People learn about me every time and I feel like it's a real break. You get me? Especially studying music and then far going you kidding and a big argument. You know what I mean? It can be an argument.
Yeah, you know me how I do, man.
Like you know me, I love debating. That everybody love me too because I can debate.
You don't go right down to the degree.
I can never curse you, Gillian. I can never diss you, never call you name. We can just talk in topics and when you talk, I can listen to.
Correct.
But you want peace.
Yeah.
You want whole lump.
Yeah, but that way when I love you, because I can give you. But then so they say nah, and they calling people then calling Roger on and Roger everybody was explaining and blowing money that people could be dyslexic and normally you don't know.
Yeah.
People could be autistic.
And extremely talented and
I'm highly functioning.
and highly functional.
Whoa, is brain meditation is a lot.
A lot of people like Albert Einstein, that was on the spectrum, that kind of thing.
Right, that case in point. And he's one person that I studied too, and he was on the spectrum for real.
Yep.
So it means that we got a lot of general education to do, but I love when you say that parent and teacher relationship is important.
It's vital.
It's vital, it's imperative, it's of most importance, people, that parent and teacher relationship, because there are going to be things that we're not going to recognize, that we should depend on the teacher to help us with if you develop that proper relationship.
Learning is a shared activity between people.
I think that learning is
I heard that last night. Don't let me carry away.
Last night?
I heard that last night at BCC.
By
One of the tutors said that. I think it was the principal actually at BCC. Learning is a shared activity.
Yeah, I
It
agree.
ain't just the teacher, it ain't just the parent, it ain't just the child. Everybody have their little part to do.
Yeah, and everybody will learn simultaneously.
Yeah.
Every party involved.
Yeah, it's real. But I learned a lot today, and I know I answer a million questions. They get to play a song, nothing they answer because I super interested in topic or from me coming across people that I had no idea and I'm malicious, so I thinking well, I gypsy. You know what I mean? So I thinking well, I super aware. I was a police 16 years.
Yeah.
So I tell myself, you know what I mean? I learned to read behavior that
That's
my life.
right.
And I come from the ghetto too. You know what I mean? So I tell myself I got both words and I still come across people that was functioning and there know their disabilities and know to function with them and I had no idea taking a science. I tell you so, you know how we feel like we can always see it.
Yeah.
We can always spot it. That's not the case. You know what I mean? So that way learning is extremely important. Now before we go up, you're the Vice President of Autism Association of Barbados.
Yes, please.
Before we go, we got 3 minutes. I want to hear your plans for the Autism Association in these 3 minutes, and how can we, the public of Barbados, support you all?
Well, our biggest plan,
Yes, please.
our biggest goal is to open our resource center
Nice.
at the garrison. So we are just waiting for that paperwork to come through, and once that resource center is open, we will be a place that parents can come, get advice, bring their children. We're gonna be running some programs, we'll have our support group meetings in person. It will be home for the Autism Association to function, and the public can help any fundraising, activities we have, support us. But most of all, be aware. We want to do some public education to increase awareness of autism in Barbados. And, the public always plays a role in that. Just learn more about it, because once you know about it, you can help somebody.
Yeah, that's true. No, I love that. Learn more about it. Once you know about it, you can help somebody. I love that. Learn more about it. Cause once you know about it, you can help somebody.
And
Listen,
I want you to know, like
I
they're
love
pushing that slogan in my school.
Yeah.
You're never too good to get better.
Yeah.
I love it.
yeah,
I like it. I like it.
never too
Never
good
too good
to get better.
to get better. NTI.org.bb, over 5,000 free courses. And if you all didn't know, this is an icon. This is someone that used to look up to, still look up to in the music biz. Educated lady, very graceful lady, but extremely talented. But Gillian, you're always so humble, and I guess that will help keep carrying you through and give you all the
It's true.
success. And I'm so glad to hear the acting principal. I know it's not word, girl.
Enough.
I know it's not word. When you tell me, man, I don't get to peep at the choir. I know that I can't imagine that you name synonymous with music.
Oh,
So you can't
yes.
imagine that happening. You can't even peep. So I can only imagine how busy you are.
Right.
But I just want to say, like, we backing you, and all of us are extremely proud
Thank
of
you so much.
Yeah, keep
Appreciate it.
Yeah, keep up the great work, and hope we can talk to you much more.
Right on.
Mafia, it's
Yes,
all
ma'am.
yours.
Hot 95.3 FM. Thank you again, man. It was very, very, very intriguing. I learned a lot today.
Yeah.
My gosh. You can read a book. You can read a book or two.
Yeah.
I will.
You got to.
Yeah, she's an
Yeah, I
author.
will.
Jerry, you got to hear
You
it.
can write
I
a
will.
book.
Oh, good.
Sure,
Good.
love.
Good.
I'll buy you every copy.
Yeah.
NTI. So, like, thank you, sir.
Love.
Yes, boss.
Sorry.
Time in Barbados now. 28 and counting after the hour of 4. In 1 minute, we head over to the next news.
That's it.
That
You
was
should back everyone more
NTI,
things.
the National
What they was they had
Transformation
everything, man?
Initiatives.
I spent 8 years in health.
The knowledge and skills to the citizens of good character.
Untouchable schoolboy, Mafia dog. You know that it's separate.
Also, probably from TV, I think.
I tell you.
Yeah.
How much you pay?
But he was trying to explain it to me that he was just
But that's the like.